The mainstream media is just a propaganda machine for the woke anti-British Open Borders Brigade. And this footage is proof that Labour is committed to open borders and nothing will change. In fact, it will only get worse. Lisa Nandy is a Labour politician who was asked if multiculturalism had failed. This was off the back of Suella Braverman's recent speech. She basically said Labour is going to have open borders and it is Britain's place and responsibility to import the world. And the only problem that could ever arise is with those who question it. She rants about how we have always given sanctuary to people. Well, maybe so in the past, but times change. We are a tiny island with a population of 68 million and rising fast. It's insane that anyone and everyone can just come here because they want a better life. What was worse is there was no one there to challenge the open borders narrative. This is a political debate programme on primetime TV and there was no diversity of opinion. Everyone in the audience was carefully selected for left-wing bias as they all clapped and cheered Nandy's open borders speech. Funny that when the majority of the British people want illegal immigration stopped. Another politician on the panel said Bradford was an example of how multiculturalism had succeeded. Large swathes of Bradford are nothing more than just colonies of Pakistan on British soil. They are certainly not multicultural areas, let me assure you of that. I'm afraid whoever is in power, it will make no difference, open borders it is. Our country is being handed over to the world without the consent of the British people. Just a piece of land offered out to the world. A green and pleasant land soon to be paved over. And it is because the political elite like Nandy detest the British people. Take a watch.
This city in the 1980s in the shadow of Enoch Powell with an Indian-born dad and a British-born mum. And when I heard our Home Secretary standing up this week talking about the children of foreign-born mothers, it took me right back to that era when families like ours were constantly under attack from Tory politicians, being told that we were the problem facing Britain. And I would just say to politicians like Suella, it was a gift to grow up in this city that has been shaped by waves of immigration over many centuries and has always provided a warm welcome to refugees fleeing persecution. It was a gift to grow up amongst friends who were black, who were white, who were from all sorts of ethnic minority backgrounds, and we never even noticed because it was just so normal. We were friends first and foremost, and we told a different story about the sort of country that we could be. And I would say to the government, if you're worried about integration and people not speaking English, why are you cutting English language classes so that there are huge waiting lists in every part of this country? If you're worried about people fleeing persecution, war, climate change, why did you abolish DFID and trash one of the best things that this country has ever been able to give to the world? If you're worried about the future of this country and people being able to have enough houses to live in, why is your house building programme falling off a cliff, and why have you presided over the loss of houses, including social housing stock, over 13 consecutive years? And if you're worried about asylum seekers in hotels, why aren't you processing asylum claims and getting a grip on the asylum system? The problem facing this country is not people like me or this lady here or our inability to understand one another. The problems facing this country have one cause and one cause alone: politicians like Suella Braverman and this Tory government.
And